We're on.
Set.
Second half of this final game of the women's division. The Denver Lady Bulldogs lead 29 points to 1, and they will be heading from left to right. And here we go. USAFL second half action is underway. Ball is batted around the middle of the ground, and it's picked up by Yoon. Yoon will run through. She's taken down, picked up. There is Serpico, throws that one onto the right. It skips by. That one is picked up by Krugel, who picks that one up on the right side. Over to chase it down, and then a swing and a miss was Eckstein, who stayed with the footy. It gets by. That is Yoon of 125. That was a Kawakatsu on the near side. And then that one is skittled through for behind. It's a good start for the All-Stars. That's their first point since the beginning of the game. It is now, that is their second behind. And it's now 29-2. And play that one out onto the near side. There is Blecker, hit her in the face, but couldn't stay with it. Baumgartner, Blecker was there to force it. Thexton just flicks it away. I don't think that's 15. It hit the ground anyway. As Blecker taken down by Thexton. And the call is high tackle? Yep.
Jump ball up.
Jump ball up.
Oh, ball up, sorry. All I heard was high tackle, but that's okay. It's a ball up. Thank you. In the air, Masher Mace trying to knock it to Thexton. Gray, sounded like it was touched. It just stays in. It's going to be out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw and put up interchange games. The All-Stars coached by Cat Hogg, legendary coach, one of the originals, more ways than one of this USAFL women's program. By how far it has grown, the quality of play marked by Heather Serpico, former New York Magpie. Playing with a couple of her former teammates today. That one will pick up on the near side. Marked nicely. As jumping up and taking it was Emily Rice from the Des Moines Roosters. That one is kicked in. It'll drop in. It'll bounce away. Handballs it back. Silvio threw that one onto the right. Bailey overwhelmed a little bit. Stayed in the field of play. Stays in. Streff just got to it. And that one, I believe, is going out on the full, and it has. I believe. And it's Olivia Vongeroth. And that is Algosian, kicks it into the middle, juggled and dropped. I believe that was Blecker who got it away. Here is Ferrucci who gets away from Mortensen, throws that one onto the right. One hops in on Streff. Streff swing and a miss as she was taken down. Silvio in front. It's a goal. Leilani Silvio, the former Sacramento Sun and Boston Lady Demon, and the All-Stars finally get their first major, and that one claws them back into the game. 1-2-8, 1 goal, 2 behinds, 8 points. They trail by 21. It's 29 plays 8.
All-Stars should have 8.
Ball in the middle. Getting away there is Kawakatsu. Marked defensively by Sarah Roeder. Roeder's done well on the offensive end with the wind shifting. She's playing in a halfback role now. Bumped out of the way, stays with the footy. Gray took a tumble. Silvio. That one will go, starts through the middle, skips by. Oh, good push off the football, stayed with it. Scherer handballs it back, finds Serpico. Serpico dances and lets that one go for goal. Dropped in front, still in play, picked up. That one kicked in short by the number 7 there, who is a Skonechny. Ball came down loose. It is wrapped up. I believe that was Skonechny who had the original try. The 7 looked like a 1, but in any event, ball in the air. Serpico has it again, gets away from Austin. Krugel, she's held up, and she dropped the footy, and that is improper disposal, and that'll be a free kick to Carly Austin. former Sacramento Ladies' son, will play that one up onto the near side. That will drop ahead of Wilkerson, who is digging in to get the football. She soccers it to herself. She has some help in Thexton, who picks up the football, gets away from one tackler but not the second, goes into the middle. Kawakatsu takes down Baumgartner, but the ball springs first. Three All-Stars are there as Shepard is knocked over, finds Bishop. Kelly Bishop throws out. It's going to hang in the sky, knocked down. And then ball comes in. Here is Kawakatsu. Long kick, and it is marked by Vongrath from the Blue Ox. Has Eileen Yoon out to the side. Not the greatest of kicks as she was heading in that direction. Kugel knocking over a player there. The umpire will ball this one up. 30 meters out from the All-Stars target as they trail 29-8, but they've been on the front foot as they've had the wind. Silvio's kick for goal, and that is going out of bounds. And that is a boundary throw-in. Advantageous situation for the All-Stars. Ball comes spinning back into play. It is caught by Hurtado, gives to Gray, who finds Thexton. Thexton gets away from Serpico and finds a connection in Baumgartner. So Jennifer Baumgartner, who really came to her own at Nationals last year, with a one-handed drop, that is a high spinning ball. It is high. It will have a good bounce as McAllister is up against Shepard. Shepard will win that race as she gets away. She handballs it onto the near side. McAllister against, it looks like Moffitt, who goes and picks that up, Megan Moffitt. And then they push in there. Thexton is in there as they scramble for the ball. Moffitt gives to Shepard, who gets it out of there. And nicely done. It bounces over Gray going backwards. It's picked up by Kawakatsu. Kawakatsu goes in, but it's picked off. And Austin goes back the other way, off the chest of Victor. Ball goes to the ground. Gray was flung to the ground there by the number 8 in George Walker. Georgina Walker, one of the Aussies on the Portland team. That's a tackle. That's got to be holding the ball, and it is. And it is a free kick. And it will go to Lindsay Kastanek, who has 3 of the 4 tallies, major tallies. That one goes in for, it's Streff and Thexton. Streff picks up the 40, couldn't get a clean kick away, has a second chance, handballs it back to Thexton. Thexton wheels around on her right, that's going to have a fair crack, but it's going to die in the square as Placencio couldn't get to it, and then it's bang out by the All-Stars. But there's Kawakatsu, had it bounce off of her chest. Yuki Kawakatsu now has it, throws that one onto the right, goes across for Silvio. Silvio will go in short, finds Laren Sullivan in the middle of the park. Sullivan will play on against Wilkerson. Long kick, one-on-one contest, but a defensive mark taken by Austin. Carly Austin, whose husband used to play for the University of Stanford football, up on the left side now. And here is number 20, throws that one on to the left. One-on-one contest. Staying with it is number 1, which is Scherer. Scherer stays with it, turns it over. And then she's thrown down, and we will have a free kick. And the free kick will go to Jess Blecker. Jess Blecker, in her 4th full season, first member of the Portland women's team to go to represent the USA. And then here is Kawakatsu. Look at that speed from Kawakatsu. And she goes in short. It's going to be picked off there by Lara Porter. And then the ball squirts up in the air. Placencio, or check that was Ferrucci. Picked off and stolen by Silvio. Went right, went left. Taken down, handball back. Picked off by Hurtado. And then now out to the near side. It's picked up by Thexton. Thexton being chased by Serpico and puts that one up high in front of Masher Mace. Ball bounces away. Shepard able to corral it. She's taken down by Kastanek. Throw that one onto the right. Does Bishop. Marked nicely by Silvio. Silvio's been probably their best player all day across all 3 games. Nice mark by Tara Kugel, who plays alongside Shepard for the Portland Shockwave. Long kick, and that is marked by Alverzin. Claire Algazin of the New York Lady Magpies, who kicked 2 goals in the Eastern Regional game in the Magpies win. And she has a chance to claw her team back a little bit closer. Algazin's kick looks good off the boot. It is dead center perfect. Game on here in Westminster. Two 14 for the All-Stars. It's back to 15 points. Denver 29, All-Stars 14. Nearing the midway point of the second half. The Denver Lady Bulldogs still with the lead here. Of course, we have that other game going on behind us. Seattle-Sacramento combination playing on Golden Gate. But here is Silvio. Silvio with a kick, one-on-one contest. Yeah, pushing the back. Went right through her hands and slow to get up. Looking to see the number here. I think it's Austin. Yep, that's Carly Austin, number 11. And I think it was she fell on the ball and hit her stomach as she fell down. I've had that happen before. It takes your breath away. But she is okay as Silvio tried to get one away as Streff was there to change the trajectory of the kick. The ball is held up. The umpire crosses his arms and says, we'll have a ball up as Streff appears to be going against Armstrong. Streff wins the tap. Down it goes, picked up by Silvio. Silvio just gets the ball away. It hops in, Kruger takes it and then drops it. Handballs it into Serpico, who dances away, throws that one onto the right. It is almost caught by Rice. Rice stayed with the footy, throw that one onto the right. That one is going to roll, and it's going to roll out of bounds, but it did find the field of play. That is an advantageous situation, and a good job by Emily Rice. The Des Moines Roosters, their original player. Chico on camera, who's also from Des Moines, gives a little fist pump. Ferrucci for a goal, and that one skitters across the face. I believe that is still, that has gone out of bounds. Another advantageous situation right in the shadow of the target. Ball comes spinning back in the play. Ball goes to nobody in particular, but it is Roeder who gets it out. Long high kick. Ball goes to ground. That one's picked up by Bishop, who's taken down. Is that going to be a high tackle?
Yep.
Yes, it is. It is a high tackle, and that is Bishop. As Wilkerson went in there. Long kick out to the near side, stayed in play, and then it goes out of bounds. Boundary throw-in. In the position of about right between right half forward flank and right forward pocket for the All-Stars, who trail 29-14. They've played hard all day, considering, and played well, considering that they have basically, they're an all-star team. They're from 7 different clubs, and they have played together nicely. And it just has not yielded results on the scoreboard. Free kick, and that one was gone against Serpico, I believe. Free kick to Jessica Gray. Gray throws that one on to the right, almost marked by Streff, who went and picked it up. She is taken down. That's got to be holding the ball, and it is. Great job by Leilani Silvio. This LA Dragons team is in pretty good shape with players like Silvio and Yoon, and there is a nice sliding mark by Emily Rice. So here is Rice. She'll throw that one on to the right. No, by Kruger, who almost had it. And then Porter was able to get that one away. It skittles through into the middle, picked up by Vong Huraf, who goes that one in. It's going to be picked up by Yoon. Yoon, that one is intercepted by Austin, and back the other way comes Denver, but it's picked up nicely in the middle of the ground by Simone Shepard. The wind is picking up, and you can see it is clearing a little bit in the background. You can actually see snow in the peaks. That one goes in, marked again by Porter. It looks like it might even be by Hurtado. And it's Porter out to the near side looking for Fexton, who takes an uncontested mark, dances away from Victor, and then goes in. Baumgartner couldn't handle it cleanly. And then that one is thrown on. Baumgartner is going to go in. She soccers it on to get away from, it looks like Algazin, and then dancing away is Roeder, who throws that one onto the right, one-on-one contest. It bounces away from Masher Mace. Castanix able to paddle it on against Scherer. Scherer is just going to soccer that one on to her own advantage. She's not going to have much time. She is taken down. Umpire did not say anything about that. Play on, picked off by Masher Mace. It is still in play, and then that one is banged out to the near side where it is marked by Bexton. Bexton will play on immediately, all by herself up the right pocket. That one is headed for the goals. That one, I believe, is going out on the full.
I can't tell.
And yep, there it is, out on the full. Brian Bowers with you here, Westminster, Colorado, Westminster City Park. Denver Lady Bulldogs trying to hang on and take out the Western Regional Championship. They lead 4 goals, 5-29 to 2-2-14. Out to the near side. Bexton couldn't handle it, and then she picks it up nicely. She'll turn to the inside, and then she lets that one into the middle. Masher Mace was outmarked by Simone Shepard, and she was telling me earlier how much respect she has for Simone, especially those balls in the air. Shepard throws that one on to the right. One-on-one contest, but it's picked off by Baumgartner. So here is Baumgartner. She hooks that one left, but Streff is there with an uncontested mark, and she was able, I believe she got away from Sylvia. Not 100% sure, but here is Streff. The kick is on the way. It's going to be short, it's going to go across the face, and it's going to go out of bounds. But that's not a bad result, as it's a boundary throw-in, about 5 meters around. Although, in fact, it isn't behind. It all looks the same from here, Chico. So behind for Denver, that's their first score of the half. 4-6-30. It's a 16-point lead.
Throw in there.
And we'll have a throw-in on the far side, on the near side of that pocket. As we mentioned, the All-Stars players from New York, Arizona, Portland, the North Star Blue Ox, and Des Moines, and Los Angeles.
Oh, is it out on the full?
It looked like it might have gone out on the full. Kraft got a hand to it. Scherer got it away. He drops in front of Roeder and then takes a funny bounce. Roeder gets a Shepard, gets protection from Bexton, but not that time as Bishop takes her down. That's holding the ball. And Sarah Roeder just tried to get away, but tried to get a little too fancy. And that will be a free kick for Bishop. So here is Kelly Bishop. Freedom up by. Throws that one onto the right. And that was, I had Bexton in my sights, and she squared that one up all the way. That kick, she's probably going to want back. And that one has gone straight out on the full. And another free kick. Again, the score, Denver leading 30-14. We are in the back end of the second half, or at least halfway through the second half. 2 20-minute halves, and of course we have Golden Gate, or San Francisco rather, the Iron Maidens taking on Seattle and Sacramento. Both of these teams have played these two before. Earlier today, Baumgartner's kick, Masher Mace tried to stay with it, and then she just suckered it out of bounds. I believe that may have found the field of play with the way everyone is walking. No, it is going to be... That's a good question. It's going to be a free kick, it looks like, and I believe that's Leah Placencia. Here is Placencia in the middle of the ground. It is robbed by Masher Mace as she was trying to pick it off. The All-Stars still have it in their own territory, and then it skips by Baumgartner, picked up by number 20. That kick is on the way, and that is a goal. And I'd love to tell you who that is, but I don't have her on my score sheet. I believe that might be Susie Orway, just in looking at this. I think that's Susie Orway. So we're going to give it to her for now. But in any event, that's Denver's 5th goal, and that made life a lot harder for the All-Stars. 5-6-36 to the All-Stars, 2-2-14. The margin is back to 22 points. The wind is picking up ever so slightly. It is blowing now from left to right and actually more towards the commentary position. The whistle blows as Kawakatsu have the football. And it will be a free kick. And this one will be to Olivia Von Hera, former Minnesota Freeze, now over across town with the North Star Blue Eyes. Von Hera throws that one on to the right. It travels a little bit over the head of Algozin. Gray throws that, or Austin rather, throws it out, picks it up on a hop, just got boot to ball, skips free, picked off by Shepard. Shepard gets away from one tackle and has a bounce. Good Shepard by with Victor, out to the near side. Algozin is watched by Carly Austin. She's able to get away. Austin drags her down. No call. And that's it. That's it. It's over. That is it. And the Denver Lady Bulldogs have taken out this final game as they have defeated the All-Stars by the final score of 36-14. And ladies and gentlemen, the Denver Lady Bulldogs are your 2017 USAFL Western Regional Champions as they have gone 3-0 today. And you have to know that they will be taking that in the back of their minds to San Diego in just a couple of months' time for the national championships. That'll do it for the women's competition. We still have Division II and Division I. You can check it out on USAFL.com. Until then, from Westminster, Colorado, this is Brian Bausch. It's goodbye for now.